Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in again. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and all of your comments also are lovely. So thank you very much in advance. This week, well, the week that I'm filming this in is my first taper week, but by the time this goes out, I will be headed off to Tokyo for Tokyo Marathon the next day, which is mind-blowing. So I first found out about the fact that I was running the Tokyo Marathon about late kind of December-ish or mid-December. So I've been training since then, so it doesn't actually feel like a huge amount of time. So it's crazy to me that it's just suddenly like here already that I'm headed off to Tokyo. So anyway, very exciting. So I am currently in taper week number 1. Tapering is when you reduce the amount of exercise that you do before doing a race or a competition or anything like that, so that when you actually get to race day, you're at your peak fitness and physical capabilities and properly rested. And for running, for example, that includes, you know, filling your muscle stores with glycogen, I believe it is, so that you can perform to the best of your ability. So I just thought I'd talk you a little bit through what I'm doing in rest week, what it entails. And it's not just like sleeping the entire time, even though I would love to do that. It actually involves some running, nutrition stuff, a lot of sleep as well. And then I thought I'd talk as well about my goals for the marathon and any concerns that I have, which are not exactly few and far between. I have a lot of concerns about the entire thing. Training this week, which is the week before the marathon, I am doing 3 runs this week, which are all relatively short compared to my peak training weeks. So in my peak training week, I got up to 26 kilometers or so, which is 16 miles. I was supposed to do a longer run the week afterwards, but injured my IT band, which goes from the side of your knee sort of up to your hip area. I realize you can't see what I'm doing, so sorry, but you're just gonna have to imagine it. Side of the knees up to your hips, along the side of your legs is what really hurts if you try and foam roll it. So I've got IT band syndrome. I've had that since, well, the last 4 years really, and it flares up if I increase the volume of running too quickly. And it's actually been really good this this training period, but it did flare up on my longest run yet, and so I was unable to complete my 17-mile run the next week. So my longest run so far has been 16 miles, and we'll get on to why that worries me later. This week I'm doing one 7-kilometer run, one 5-kilometer run, and one 8-mile run. Don't ask why I went into miles, that's my coach's fault, but I'm just gonna, I think that's like 13k, something like that. So yeah, those are all spread out and they're all super slow, just at sort of the marathon pace, just to keep the legs moving, have a little bit of intensity in them, but nothing that's gonna tire me out. The point of taper week is not to like just, get in a wheelchair and like wheel around all day. You are actually supposed to be doing some exercise and keeping your legs moving and your muscle form there, so that when you get to the marathon you don't feel like, like jelly man, like all floppy and stuff. So yeah, so that's the purpose of these runs this week. Next week I don't know what my plan is. By the time this comes out I will be flying the next day, so I'm going to try and do my longest run, the 8-miler, on Sunday this week, which will be yesterday by the time this comes out, hopefully, in order to be a little bit tired for the 12-hour flight to Tokyo, so that I will actually need the rest when it comes to it. Obviously, I am a little bit concerned about the marathon itself, but in terms of my goals, my goal is not to do sub 3:30 or something crazy. It is my first marathon. I've never run even a half marathon. I've never raced a half marathon, sorry. So my goal is simply to get round it, to get round the whole thing. It's actually a beautiful marathon. It is on road. It's all totally flat. There's a little bit of downhill, but other than that it's totally flat, and it's just a very, very quick race. So But having said that, I will also be hugely jet lagged, and my coach has told me to take that into account. So any PB done, well, any time that I get is going to be a PB because I've never actually done it before. But any PB done on the Tokyo Marathon will be a PB plus you know, a 12-hour time difference or whatever it is. It is a huge time difference. I will feel like I'm running in the middle of the night, which is not ideal, but my boxing match was at 11:30 p.m. and I managed that even though it was only 6 minutes, so it's gonna be fine. My concern basically is that my T-band's not going to hold up for the whole thing, and that it's all going to be really, really painful, because all my long runs that I've done so far have been sore since that 26-kilometer one. Even, you know, even just doing 10k up and down the river, I can feel it in my T-band. So it will be a miracle if I get round the marathon without having to, you know, limp from about 25 odd kilometer in, or not even that, probably 20 kilometer in. So that's my main concern, and my serious worry is that I'm not going to be able to finish it, which is why I'm recording this now, because I actually want to have that on record as a possibility. Obviously I don't want that to happen, but I've had this injury for a very, very long time, and it has been kind of hindering my progression in my running training, and obviously it would be very sad for me not to be able to finish, but also a possibility. So, you know, fingers crossed it won't happen, but we've got to bear that in mind as a possibility. My main thing for the next week in the lead up to the marathon is simply eating plenty of food. Now is not the time to try and lose the last couple of pounds. I think what a lot of runners do is try to lose a couple of pounds in, you know, the week or two before your race, so that when you actually get to race day you're carrying around less weight. That's just a really terrible idea. You shouldn't be making any big changes in your taper week. Again, with nutrition in general, you shouldn't be trying to have like superfoods or you know, new gels or supplements or anything like that. Just do what you're used to. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and hopefully the food in Tokyo will also be fine for me. I've been having lots of baths before bed. I've got this nice like muscle soak. I use Epsom salts, and also another thing called liquid yoga that is amazing for like relaxation before bed. So I'm having like a bath before bed a couple of times a week, and that just really sets me up. So fun fact, everyone thinks that having a bath before bed makes you sleepy because it's warm, but it's not that. Basically, before you go to sleep, your body cools down, which is why it's so difficult to sleep if it's too hot. And the bath, what it does is it heats up your body, and then as you get out of the bath, your body starts to cool down much quicker, and that cooling down signals to your body that it's time to sleep. So that's why when you have a bath, this is like a really random fact to throw in, but that's why when you have a bath you actually feel much more relaxed, and I definitely get that as well. So I've been doing that, and then doing stretching every day, nothing crazy. Again, I don't want to like pull my groin or something. It'd be embarrassing not to be able to run because of that. So just a little bit of stretching every day. Also some, in my previous video or a couple of videos ago, I did some hip stabilizing exercises that I got taught at the A6 marathon training event, and I've been doing those a few times a week as well. So yeah, that's kind of been my plan for you know, taper week, and then up until the time that I fly. I'm so excited to be able to bring my camera out there, record everything that I'm doing. Obviously if you want to know anything, as always, just message me on Instagram, that's Food Fitness Flora, or literally just comment underneath here and I'll check all the comments to see if I can film anything. I was going to film the marathon on a GoPro, and then my coach was like, look, you're either there to get content or you're there to enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of difficult to enjoy and fully experience something if you're like busy kind of going along like this, like I always do. So I'm not actually going to film the marathon, but I will be filming beforehand and afterwards, and you know, pretty much everything else. So hopefully we'll get some good content then. So if you want to know anything, do let me know. And I hope this was useful. It's obviously a bit of a ramble, but I kind of wanted to get some stuff on camera before going out, because I am like seriously worried. I'm like seriously concerned about how it's gonna go, and I wanted to share that because I'm not some kind of superhuman that some people seem to think that I am. I do get worried about these things, and this is a massive unknown for me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this enjoyable, and I will see you in my next vlog, which will be post-marathon. Woo! So I'll speak to you later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!